You've heard the saying, dreams without goals are just wishes, but I want to take it further. Dreams without execution will never become a reality, period. I'm about to walk you through a proven strategy to stop waiting on your dreams and start turning them into a reality with a clear plan and relentless execution. Let's lock in. I'll see you on the other side.
Yeah, desire to dream. What do you mean? Take a good look at my life. Yeah, my future it gleams. Desire to dream. What do you mean? I cannot lose, cause I got God on my team.
Hey, welcome back to the Desire to Dream podcast, the place where we ignite your vision, strengthen your faith, and unlock your God-given potential. I'm your host, Lo Wilder, speaker, entrepreneur, author, and coach. And today's episode is about one word: execution. Look, there's a gap between knowing and doing. Let's be real. Most people don't fail because of lack of knowledge. There's a lot of information out there for people to learn, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's webinars, whether it's podcasts like this one right here. But the thing about it is this, they don't have success because of lack of knowledge. It's the lack of doing, the lack of executing. You don't need another webinar. You don't need another YouTube video. You don't need another motivational speaker telling you what you need to do and getting you inspired and getting you motivated. You need to execute. And on this podcast episode, you're going to get the tools that you need so that you can execute at a high level. Let's tap right into it. Execution is the bridge between where you are and where you want to go. Like, execution is the thing that you have to do so that you can get on the other side. It's the one thing that you have to do when you have an idea and how you turn that idea into a reality. When you're working on a goal, you have to execute. It's not a matter of, well, let me try to figure this thing out. Let me get this knowledge. No, you need to execute. You need to make it happen. You need to figure out, okay, what is it that I truly want? And now let's reverse engineer and let's go out and execute. Most people are afraid to execute because they're like, I don't know if I have everything I wanted. When I started this podcast, I didn't have anything. You know, I started back in 2015, 2016. I teamed up with one of my homies from college and we started a podcast. We didn't know what we were doing, but we started, right? Everything you have to do, you have to get started. Everything that you want to do, you got to get started. You have to just go out there and make it happen. You can always course correct. All right. You can go out there, you can start, and then you can learn from your mistakes. Look, this podcast, I relaunched it. I relaunched, and here I am, and I'm critiquing and saying, okay, how can I make this better? I got another camera that I'm gonna start getting different views, right? I'm thinking about editing. How am I gonna enhance the editing? How can I improve this podcast? I also think about it with my business. How can I go out there and execute at a high level so that I can increase my business in the mortgage business, in the sales business, and in the coaching business? Get out there and execute, but you can't just hope. You can't just hope that it'll happen. You got to go out there and execute. I want to talk about my journey from being a procrastinator to high-level producer. We talked about it on last week's podcast where I would just cram and wait till the last minute and do a 23, 25-page paper the night before. But look, you have to have strategy. You can't just continue to hope. And let me tell you something. Your dream cannot be executed off of hope. Faith is great, but the Bible says that faith without works is dead. So if you're not putting in the work, if you're not doing the things that you have to do, then guess what? It's not going to work out for you. I truly hope that the person that's listening to this understands this. There's a version of you that's living the life that you dreamed of. There's a version of you out there that's executing, whether it's working out, having the best body of your life, having the best mental toughness of your life, having the best financial situations of your life, whatever it is that you want, there is that version of you. The difference between you, where you are right now, and the person that you want to be is execution. I'm going to be honest. I'm a victim of this. I have been working out, stopping, working out, stopping. Working out has been my nemesis. If I can apply the execution that I do in my sales and in my business, I'll be in the best shape of my life. Because when it comes to business, ain't nobody stopping me. I'm not the smartest, I'm not the most talented, but I execute at a high level. I'm a high producer when it comes to making lead generation calls. So for those of you that are in the sales professionals, right, business owners, people selling insurance, selling real estate, car salesmen, whatever it is, you have to understand, in order to be successful in business, you have to make a high level of lead generation calls. You have to generate leads. There are so many people in sales hoping that the people go and buy their product, buy their service. They're not making the calls. And then when they do make the calls, they don't know what they're doing. So if you want to tap in with me as a coach, I can help you do that. Just send me an email or reply, say, yes, I need your coaching. I used to rely on adrenaline and I had no strategy. Strategy is the key to me executing at a high level, right? You have to have a strategy. You have to be intentional, because without it, that type of mindset, you're not going to be able to scale. You're not going to be able to scale your business, scale your finances, scale your workouts, nothing, because you don't have the mindset or strategy to execute at a high level. That mentality just doesn't help you build a brand. It doesn't help you build a legacy, and it sure as heck don't help you build a successful future. It wasn't until I started to create a daily system when I started to see winning as a consistent thing. I created a sales pipeline where I was making 100 phone calls a day. That was the system that I needed to do so that I can work on my sales. So look, 3 reasons you're not executing and how you can fix them. Number 1, you're waiting to feel motivated. I talked about this earlier. Motivation is a feeling. It comes and it goes, right? You can watch an Eric Thomas video, you can watch a Les Brown video, and you can be jacked. I used to listen to them every single day, but at the end of the day, that motivation can wear off. It can be, being in traffic. It can be dealing with a customer that kind of draws, gets you a little irritated. It could be your kids screaming, not giving you the time to focus and lock in. Whatever it might be, that motivation can go out the window. So motivation comes and goes. You can't think about motivation as being the one thing. What you need is discipline. Discipline is going to be the thing that makes you do something when you don't want to do it. Discipline also carries into consistency. Once you create a schedule, once you create a strategy and you're disciplined and you're like, look, there's non-negotiables, I'm sticking to this routine, then guess what happens? You become consistent, you begin to see some wins, and then you begin to see them stack up on top of each other. So I want you to focus on discipline, but I don't want you to be so hard on yourself that you just give up. Right? You have to give yourself some credit, some ability to grow, some room for growth. I have to stay disciplined. I got a 9 to 5. Then I have a mortgage business. I'm also a youth director at my church. So I'm planning for a message in the evenings. I'm planning for social media marketing for my business. I'm scheduling my calendar so I can make my 25 to 40 calls. Every single day, I have this system in place. And if I'm not disciplined, then I'm not going to execute. That's how I get double-digit sales increases. That's how I land speaking gigs. That's how I get mortgage deals done. That's how I can inspire and empower and encourage our youth. So the second reason why you're not executing is that you don't have a system. Hope is not a strategy. We talked about that. You cannot hope and think that things will work out. You have to really start thinking about what you need to do and start strategizing, start being intentional so that you can make these things that you want become a reality. So many people are hoping, so many people are wishing, man, I wish if I just get this, it's going to be all right. No, you have to execute. You have to go out there and work, and you have to create a plan, a strategy, and have a system. Once again, I have a mortgage business. So people ask me all the time, they're like, Lo, how do you have your 9 to 5 and run a mortgage business? Well, here's the thing. I have a system for both jobs. Okay. The 9 to 5 requires me to be present. I have to be visiting stores, visiting customers at job sites, right? I have to be on the phone, calling, walking them through some problems, solving issues, right? So I'm very present in my 9 to 5, and I respect my employer by not, doing other things that I shouldn't be doing. So here's where I created a system Or actually, the system was kind of created for my mortgage business, and all I'm doing is just following and executing it at a high level. So what am I doing? While I'm working my 9 to 5, I utilize social media for my marketing for my mortgage business. I work on my flyers during the evening or early in the morning. I wake up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. I get on my accountability call. And then after that, I have about 2 hours where I'm working on planning out my day, working on the social media marketing, and I'm just locking in, taking that time to really focus and be creative. But here's the system. Normally, I'll give a call back to these customers that probably left me a text message or emailed me, messaged me on Facebook, and I'll give them a call. Hey, this is Lil Wilder. I'm a mortgage loan originator with Gravity Home Loans, and I just wanted to give you a call because I saw a missed call or I saw a text message. I saw your email. Looks like you're interested in applying for a home mortgage loan. If that's the case, would you like to do a quick 10-minute application over the phone, or can I send you a link? Most of the time, they want the link. So I send them a link, then they apply themselves. Once that link is complete, it goes to my loan assistant, right? My loan partner, and they see that application in the system and they log it all in. They put it in the system. Once the mortgage broker puts everything together, and now I'm able to review it. So later on, when I have a little bit more time, I'll give them a call. I'll say, hey, congratulations. You were pre-approved for your home loan. And here, I'm sending you over this email. It's going to kind of break down the scenario on how much you were approved for. So that way you can go ahead and give it to your realtor and y'all can start looking for homes, right? But guess what? I probably spent 15, 20 minutes on the phone with this person throughout the day. If I do that one time a day, right? 2 times in the evening, right? Because most people call after work as well because they're at work. But I have a system. And if I can execute that system at a high level, I'm going to generate a lot of leads that ultimately generate into closes. And look, I've been in this for over about 90 days. I've been over to have about 5 clients that are under contract. When some people were saying it might take him a year before he gets his first loan. It might take me a year. Now, me being a high achiever, me being a high producer, I was like, give me like 90 days. And sure enough, before 90 days, I think my first 60 days, I was able to execute and get a home loan. But it's the system that I have in place where I'm able to have success in my mortgage business. Then it's the system that I have in place in my paint sales business where I'm executing sales calls. I'm lining up the day to meet with clients, to meet with customers, and I'm seeing where can I add value to their business, where can I help them grow, and that's how I'm able to be a high producing sales performer, right? Rather than someone just hoping and waiting for business to come in. There's a lot of people right now saying that the mortgage business is slow, and I am crushing it because I'm generating a lot of calls, and I'm also producing a lot of content and putting it on my social media. I have a system, and that system is going to help me be successful. So I hope that worked for you. I hope that gives you some kind of insight in how you can create a system. Your dreams need a routine. Success is in your routine, but if you don't have a routine, you're not going to be successful. And that takes us to number 3. You fear failure more than regret. You'd rather think about it than try and fall short. Look, I get it. Failing is not something that everybody wants to do, especially if you're a perfectionist, especially if you feel like, failing would devastate you. But I want you to know that most successful people have failed. You look at Colonel Sanders, how many times he tried to sell his ingredients. No one would buy it. This man was over 60 years old before he was able to just invest in himself, go all in on himself, and create KFC, create his famous fried chicken recipe, and he was successful. Walt Disney, same thing. This man failed hundreds and hundreds of times. We can go down the list and see how many people failed their way to success. But let me tell you something. Regret will kill more dreams than failure ever will. Most people will regret not taking a chance and not going after the things that they want. If you're listening to this podcast, that might be you. That might be you. That might be someone. You might be having some doubt, right? Some self-doubt and saying, look, I don't know if I can do this. But what if you can? What if you can really, execute the dream and make it become a reality? What if it did work out for you? What if you did fall? What if you did fall short and you did fail, but you get yourself back up and you keep pushing anyways? Because your regret is going to haunt you. The biggest fear is going to your deathbed and never taking a chance on you. Oh, just working for somebody else, turning their dream into a reality. Look, I get it. The 9 to 5 is important, especially when you're a parent and you have responsibilities. I understand. I got 2 children and a wife. I get it. I'm the head of the house. I know what it takes to pay the bills and to have all this pressure, especially as a man, right? And I know you women are out there and y'all grinding and doing your thing too. But what I'm saying is that the responsibility of being a parent shouldn't be like, well, that's the reason why I couldn't go out and do the thing. If anything, that should be the reason why you do it. Because how can you tell your kid to go out there and live their dreams, turn their dream into a reality, and mommy and daddy, you didn't do it? How do I look to my children and say, I want y'all to go out there and chase your dreams? Well, daddy, what dreams did you have? What dreams did you achieve, daddy? Right? Published author, I got some success, but I know there's more. I know there's more because God put more in me. And everybody is different, right? So you can't look at everybody and say, well, this person is successful and that's it. No, like if God put more in you, he's going to measure it at the end and say, okay, I gave you 3 talents. I gave you 5. I gave you 10. Hey, I gave you 1. But if the person who God gave 1 talent to, and he executed that talent and he made the most of that talent, he impacted many people because he was doing the one thing. That person will be pleasing in God's eyes. But the person who has 10 talents and only do 5, only exercise 5 of their talents, put the other 5 on the back burner, the person with 1 could probably look at the person with 5 and say, man, this guy has 5 things, man, he's killing it. But God knows he gave him 10. God knows he created him to do more. And so that person is going to be judged differently. That person is not going to be pleasing to God's eyes because they didn't execute because of fear. Their fear of, well, I'm already doing a lot. I can't do more. Well, I already have my 9 to 5 job, but God put all this inside of me. Like, how can I not execute? And I'll rather continue to push and execute as much as I can and come up short than to just sit back and then not execute at all, because I'm like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm content where I'm at. So I want this to really hit home for you. I really want you to start thinking about it. All right. Start thinking about what you have inside of you and what God placed inside of you so that you can succeed. So look, execution is the equalizer. I've been in rooms where I wasn't the smartest. I've been in rooms where I wasn't the most talented. You know, I didn't have the most money. I grew up in poverty, right? I wasn't the smartest. I was a football player. You know, I did everything to barely get by, right? Wasn't always the smartest, but the one thing that I developed at a young age was my work ethic. The one thing that I told myself that I can't control is how hard I pushed, how hard I worked. And that, my friends, helped me open up many more doors. It got me into the rooms where most people wouldn't, because I developed a work ethic that would not be, I would not be outworked. Listen, execution is the equalizer. It doesn't care about your background. It doesn't care about your past. Doesn't care about your education. Doesn't care about your age. It rewards the one who puts in the work. It rewards the person with a strong work ethic. It rewards the people who does not give up, who continues to execute every single day. That's who gets the reward. So here's how to win this week using the SMART goal framework. Pick one SMART goal, not 5, just 1. Be specific, measurable, achievable. It has to be relevant, and there has to be time bound, right? So here's an example. I will make 25 lead generation calls to new leads by Friday at 3 p.m. So put it in your calendar, right? I want you to lock in and I want you to execute. I want you to do it every single day, whatever it might be. If it's working out, say I'm going to work out 5 times this week for 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to execute my workouts from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. Or I'm going to work out from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Or I'm going to work out from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Be specific, whatever it might be. But I want you to stick to 1, because I want you guys to get these wins Track your progress daily. Did you show up? Did you make progress? Keep it black and white. Yes or no. Don't be like, well, today I kind of did what I wanted to do. No. Did you do it? Yes or no. Execution doesn't live in a gray area. It doesn't live in lukewarm. All right, you either cold or you hot. By using the SMART method, you're not just dreaming, you're engineering your success, one intentional step at a time. Want to take it further? Write your SMART goals on a sticky note on your phone screen or somewhere where you'll see it daily. I got my whiteboard. I got my daily reminders, right? Write it down. If you write it down, you have a 77% chance of executing that goal. So, all right, guys, we got to the end, man. If this episode helped you in any way, please do me a favor. Like and share with somebody who can benefit from this. Please hit the like button. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. I hope that this podcast resonated with you so that you can go out and execute at a high level. That is truly my mantra, to help people achieve their goals at a high level. So I pray that everything works out in your favor this week. I want you to win. I want you to execute. I want you to empower, and I want you to dominate in your space. So look, if you haven't yet, please follow me on Facebook and on Instagram at Low Inspires, or you can go to Desire to Dream and you can find me there. If you haven't bought my book, like I put a insert in there, please go ahead and go to desiretodream.com and order you a copy of my book, and I will sign it personally for you. All right. If you have any coaching questions, please feel free to give me a call. I'm a business coach. I'm also a sales coach, and I can help you execute your sales and 10x your sales so that you can get double-digit gains. So let's go and let's grow, man. Until next time, execute daily, win always. You were built for this. Peace.